Everyone, this is Paulo Haddad, and in this video, I'll show you how you can use OpenDSS in Google Colab. So here we have py-dss-interface repository. Py-dss-interface is a Python package that allows you to control the official version of OpenDSS. So you can read more about it here in the repository. But what I want to do today with you guys is to go in the examples folder. And in this folder, I have 3 examples to address here with you. In this video, I will probably just do number 1. So we're gonna have follow-up videos to address 2 and 3. Here's a good moment or a good opportunity to ask you to subscribe to my channel. Only 40% of you guys are subscribers, so it would be very nice if you do that. All right, so now let's go to my first example. And in here, I have my Jupyter notebook. Okay, so this is the notebook which I explain what we are doing. I then do the steps we need to take really to run OpenDSS here in Google Colab. So before I really start using it, I just want to thank Professor Bernard that helped me to really use OpenDSS in Google Colab. All right, so what we're gonna do here with you guys, let's open in Colab. So right click, new tab. So we have here my new tab. And what I will do here, I'm gonna run the steps we need and explain those. So first step is that we're gonna try to import py-dss-interface, but in this case we don't have it. So what's gonna happen? We're gonna then install py-dss-interface. We're gonna clone it from the repository that I just showed you, and then we're gonna build OpenDSS. So this step here is pretty much the step that we're gonna take the source code of OpenDSS. I will get into the details in a second, build it, and then we install py-dss-interface. So right now, let me just run this command. So run anyway. So it's gonna take a while here, maybe a couple of minutes. So with that said, let me go ahead and explain what's happening. So in here, if I go back to the repository, we have that file here, which is intended to then use a version of the source code that I have in the repository and then build it in Linux. So Google Colab it uses a Linux machine, so we need to build the Linux version of OpenDSS. And the way to do that is to build using the C++ source code. So if I go back, here I have my version C, okay? So here pretty much is the version I got from the source code. So here we have, if you go here, you can go to, this is the source forge, in which is the site that you download OpenDSS. You can go code, okay? And then if you go trunk, you're gonna see here version C. So pretty much I zipped this file and placed in my repository. And again, I'll go back here just one thing. So if you see here, there's a file, OpenDSS C commit, okay, or C++. And I'm looking at revision 4061. So in my repository here, I know the version of the source code I have, so I can test. I use the unit test to make sure everything works. Okay, so here you can see now that the revision is already 4063, so I need to be updating that file. Okay, but essentially this is the folder that I just zipped. Okay, but you can build yourself if you want to, and you can place in the right location as well. I'm not gonna get into the details here, but pretty much this is the source code. And if you go to the OpenDSS documentation, okay, you can go here and look add, let me see here, I should, here, opendss C++. And then in this case, we are building for Google Colab, right? So here's for Linux, okay? All right, so let me go back there. You see still building opendss is still 64%. So while we wait a little bit here, I wanna just mention one thing. So we are going to use py-dss-interface, and here I'm gonna bring just a website. This is my website. I will leave the link in the description below. Here I have my courses, guys. I'm doing now courses to kind of give you more opportunities to learn OpenDSS. The courses are very well organized. I love doing those because I really think about what would be the best way to learn OpenDSS. You know, I'm using my 10 years experience with OpenDSS to actually do it, and a few years teaching OpenDSS as well. So here we have a free course. I would say this is pretty good because this is going to give you the OpenDSS fundamentals. And here is very nice to kind of hear not just like the history of OpenDSS, the main, you know, the aspects of OpenDSS, what is like the way to talk to OpenDSS, what are buses, terminals, things like that. So very, very nice. And then what I would recommend you guys, Essentials track, in which then we have two courses here, OpenDSS Snapshot Powerflow, and then py-dss interface, which is at the top of this video. I also have here the time series, but in the py-dss interface, then we cover in detail. Here you can see the course structure. We get into the detail of how you can control OpenDSS using Python, right? So again, really good resource. I do like it, right? I know I did it, but I would say this is amazing. If I was starting with OpenDSS, I would love to have something like that to be able to speed up my learning process and be able to do a lot more than, you know, maybe what I took years to learn. All right, so back there, let's see. OpenDSS is still building, so you see that there is this aspect here that we need to wait a little bit. So I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna pause the video and I'll be back when OpenDSS is built, okay? All right, it's done. So what happened? We built OpenDSS, and then we installed py-dss-interface into Google Colab Python environment. So if you go here and see this folder, you're gonna see now that we cloned py-dss-interface here, right? So you're gonna see all the files. Then we built OpenDSS. You might see it somewhere here. Maybe there's maybe built. And then what we did later, we installed this py-dss interface into Google Colab virtual environment or Python environment. So we're not using this guy anymore. I mean, Google is not using this folder. We have already the package installed in the Google environment. With that said, we need to do this next step, which is to restart Colab. So you can identify that we have py-dss interface there. You can try to run without doing this, then we're gonna maybe face some problems. So I would suggest you to do that. We're gonna do it. It's gonna restart it. One thing that you can do when using Colab is pretty much run the tests and see if that works. So it's pretty much running the unit test that we have in the repository that you can see here, tests, right? So pretty much here. All right, it's running. And then everything is working. All right, so you see 100% passed. Very, very good. So you can see here. All right, now let's use it, right? So I can import py-dss interface and I'm asking the version. So the latest version we have is 2.12, okay? Then I'm gonna use the TSS or test feeder that I have that I placed in my repository. So where we have it, examples, and then we have feeders here, okay? So I provide you guys few examples that you can run to test it, But if you want to use your own feeder or different feeders, either you need to connect your Google Drive to Google Colab, or you need to mount your it's mounting your Google Drive, or maybe cloning another repository that might have different features there. Okay, but in my case, I have just like those guys. I'm gonna use 123. Let's run this. Now I create a variable, and then what we have in the variable is the DSS file. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create the DSS object. I'm gonna clear just in case, and then I'm gonna compile. Okay, I'm gonna run it. Done. If there's problems happening, you might see a message here popping up. So you need to figure out. One way would be maybe to, let me just close this guy here. Maybe run this process to restart Colab. Okay. Then what I'm going to do, I can ask here, what is the date? Oh, I'm sorry. Before that, let you know, I run this. Let's solve the power flow. Perfect. And now let's get results, right? So I can come here. One thing we need to do when we use the show command in Linux is to make sure that we have show reports equals false, because we don't have a program here in Colab to pop up the report. Okay, so make sure you do that. Now I need to ask, where is the file saved? So here's the command you ask, dss-interface data path. When I run this, it shows me where is that. So it's pretty much in feeders 123 bus, and then you're gonna have here a new file, probably here with the voltage. Okay, so you can open here. This is your voltage results. You can change it if you want to. Okay, you can change the data path if you want to. Also, one thing I want to show you, you can use all the capabilities of py-dss-interface, and I think this is, again, just mention again that if you don't know how to use py-dss-interface, or if you want to learn everything, go to my course and then you learn that. And here I can maybe get the total power for my circuit, and then here are the results. Okay, so what I want to show you guys is pretty much the process to run Colab. Okay, we need to build OpenDSS. I will show you in the next video that we might just skip that part and try if that works. But what I think it's more important here is that using OpenDSS in Google Colab, it's a very interesting, a very nice way to teach as well as to learn. So I'm so excited about this. I'll be probably using it more in my YouTube videos. So again, thanks so much. Leave the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment if you have anything to say. Thanks so much. See you in the next one.